Hey, how's it going, YouTube? This is Martin Ross, and today I'll be talking about the NI Jam and Maschine 2.8.2. Please hit that subscribe button. Also, click that alert for the freshest updates straight to your device. Also, check out Zource, my sound library for Maschine Contact and Reason. Also, I got a single out, guys, called Talk. It's a remake of Khalid. I did it my own style. All the links are in the description. Let's get into it. So I wanted to talk about the Jam. Now I know it's 3 years into it. Why am I talking about it? I've always been asked the Push 2 or the Jam. And now that I got my hands on the Jam, which was a gift to me, again, I'm not persuaded on this. This is just a 100% opinion on the tools that I used and how I used it. So I'm giving you the best honest opinion that I feel works for me. And if you like what I do, this might be something you might want to listen to. So first off, first thoughts is the hardware feels great. Nice and firm. I feel like the quality is very premium with the hardware. Let's talk about the step sequencer. The step sequencer, I don't normally do step sequences, but I find to be very, very intuitive. I love the fact that I don't need Maschine itself as a controller. I could just use a Jam, and I could use all my kits right here. You could see that in this little box that they created. So your kits are there, and then you could just tap on what you want and then make your step sequencing there. The FX strips, the smart strips are great. You can use the notes, so you could go through 1 through 8 notes by going up and down, and it gives you kind of like a strum effect feel. So it's great for finding ideas. Really good. This controller is great for just scratching for ideas. Also, I really I really like the idea of being able to use the effect strips as automation, and I like the arrangement. The Maschine really changed how arrangement works, or the Jam changed how arrangement works for Maschine. So let's talk about the software, guys. Now, software 2.8.2, they integrated Splice, meaning that you can use the samples from Splice from your account, drag and drop it into your Maschine software. That's great. Also, they changed out how you use your samples. Instead of clicking the mixer bar and then going to the samples, everything that you need to change in the sample feature is now in the sample feature. It's all just click there, and you do everything from mapping and cutting and doing all your samples from there, which is awesome. That's the first upgrade or update that I like that Maschine has. Now, as a studio producer, I still have issues with the software. Let's talk about that real quick. We still can't be able to drag it or cut our clips if the clip is not on a 1 beat. I still have to go within the pattern and cut and erase all the beats. I should be able to just, if I want to start on the 2 beat, I should be able to cut the the pattern to the 2 beat and then start it from there. Unfortunately, you have to go inside the pattern and cut it. That's why I'm kind of moving away from Maschine. I feel that Maschine kind of focused away from building other software, forcing the end user to have to buy more hardware. I don't like that. I think once I paid $1,000, I don't need to pay $300 for another software that allows me to make my arrangements better. Another issue that I have is that we're still having issues with automation. We should be able to, most DAWs, there's a line, you click your dots, and then you can create your curves. I don't like it, the grid where you have to point the grid and then quantize it. I just don't like that. I think we should have a line grid, make point, and curvature on that. I don't like being able to have to constantly re-record and refill it. Some days I just want to create my glide for my 808s the way FL Studio does or Ableton and go from there. I shouldn't have to constantly replay it live. Sometimes I don't have the time to keep going over and over. Also, we're still at an issue with arpeggiating on third-party controllers. I shouldn't have to have a Jam, I shouldn't have to have a Maschine, and I shouldn't have to have an NI controller to play a chord and have it arpeggiated in Maschine. I don't agree with that. Also, another problem, we still can't use MP3, FLAC, WAV, all that stuff as import or export for our samples. Not all the time I'm going to have WAV samples, and not all the time do I want to export a WAV sample. So I hope you guys focus in on that. A big issue, please listen to us as your customer base. Do not force us to buy a new software till you fix that. I'm not going to pay the money for 3.0, and then you add those features. If you don't add those features in the next coming updates, I will no longer use this product, and I would tell people to avoid the product. The way they introduce Jam, I find it to be the wrong direction. And why I say that is because they made everything kind of right when building chords on the Jam to work. I should be able to build chords on my machine I paid $1,000 for. For example, they have customized chords, but what happens if I want to play a chord and I want to assign that to a pad? I should be able to play the chord, assign it to that pad, and create my own custom chords. We're still at that point where you won't allow us to create custom chords. But you fix that with the Jam. But again, you're forcing us to buy hardware. Please implement that in your software. So my full and honest opinion, if I had to go with the push 2 of the Jam, I would go with the push 2 just for the fact with all the features that Ableton already has straight off the bat. Not only can I use the push in Ableton, I can use it even in Fruity Loops. And Fruity Loops also has a better way of handling your arrangement. Again, with my usage, I don't see the purpose of me really using the Jam when I have Studio One and I have my Atom and everything ready to go on that. I personally wouldn't have bought this myself. I'm glad I got it for free, but I wouldn't have bought this. I wouldn't have spent the money on it just for my usage. Now, if you're a live performer or a DJ, this is an awesome tool for straight up live performance. You're on stage, you want to create your scenes right there. The Jam is great, especially as a standalone. So if you are new or introduced into music, I would suggest you go with the Push 2. Again, Native Instruments is not hitting on it with their software. I really think they should fix the software and listen to their customer base. I've seen this so many times in their forums about the issues that I brought up. So hopefully, if you have an idea of what you want, I know this is 3 years later, but you're still thinking about the Jam. Hopefully this opinion is kind of going to help you, persuade you to decide what you want to buy. So if you've gotten this far, hit that subscribe button, click the alert. Also check out my single talk and check out my sound library Zource. It's all in the description. If you have a comment, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. If you like the video, hit the like. Most important, share. This is Martin Ross. Thank you.